All right, what's up? We're back. Now, I know y'all in here killing us in the comment section, but it's not our fault, okay? Y'all know how technology works. Sometimes shit happens, and it just takes you offline, bro. And that's what happened.
By Jets fans, I'm telling you.
YouTube must be run by Patriots fans because it straight sabotaged us. Straight sabotaged us, but that's okay. So
my wife is a Jets fan.
That's rough. That's a rough life she lives. I
had to check the power. It seems good, but you never know.
She might have got you, bro. She might have got you. That you gotta check those females, man.
Yeah.
Gotta check the females. But anyway, look, man, we're back. And that's all that matters. So smash that like button. Because look, I'm telling you right now, I gotta be honest. You're not gonna want to miss what we have to say tonight. So you're just gonna smash that like. And you know what? We got Brian, man, appreciate it. Thank you, Brian. Yes, we are back up in here. All right. No buffering issues. We're streaming just fine. So everybody calm down. You know what? Comment of the night. I blame Anthony's tramp stamp. You know what, Anthony? Anthony, okay. Tim, perfect. Anthony's tramp stamp. He didn't put any lotion on it. It looks it's a little ashy. That's why it's mad. Okay. But we do have a super chat. Andrew Miller, man. He says, guess who's back? That's Eric's guy. That's Eric's guy. Thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you, Andrew, for watching the show. And we are back. Yes. Hit, like, subscribe. Buffalo Fanatics. Look. It's going down.
As soon as I said something good about Trent Murphy, it crashed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
I think Anthony's still better about that.
I talked something good about Trent Murphy, and the whole thing crashed.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So now that we're back doing our thing, let's get back to it. What's popping again? This is where we go across the league, talk about the latest and greatest. And we were just about to get into the first topic, and here we go. Bruce Arians. All right, Bruce Arians throws Tom Brady under the bus after their loss on Sunday against the Saints. Now, Anthony, I know you're going to have some stuff to say about this one. And before we get started, let me read the quote. Bruce Arians on Tom Brady said he looked like Tom Brady in practice all the time, so it's kind of unusual to see that in a ball game because he didn't do things that we didn't get ready for. Everything that they did, we thought we were ready for. Bruce Arians, what are your thoughts, Anthony?
Oh, I love this. Obviously, I watched that game and I was reveling the whole time. Tom Brady throws 2 interceptions, cries to the refs, doesn't get his way, surprisingly. So all the memes on Facebook were my favorite. You know, oh, there goes Tom Brady didn't get the referees in the divorce with Belichick. You know, so apparently he's still got the referees with him up in New England. You know, I want to talk to the manager was a quarterback one. That was my favorite. I mean, come on. Tom Brady is whiny. He's a crybaby. And he is, I've said it and I'm sticking to it. He's the weakest part of that offense. Why did they lose that game? Tom Brady. It wasn't anybody else on that damn team that fucked up. It was Tom Brady. He's the reason they lost the game, period. So bring on the guy that I picked to be the surprise player of the year for the Bucs, which is Blaine Gabbert, because sooner or later he's getting in there, and sooner or later he's going to show that he can do just as good, if not better, than the $38 million man, Tom Brady. And I can't wait. I love every second of it. Let's go,
Anthony. Who's talking right now? Is it the tramp stamp that cut us off here a little bit ago, or is this the Dr. Anthony Romeo?
Oh, you know,
are you crazy?
That's me. That's me, and I've said it, and I'm
Blaine Gabbert, better than Tom Brady. You got it, dude. Anthony,
on this team, he can do just as much, if not more, than Tom Brady.
Talk some sense to me.
The thing is, Tom Brady's going to figure it out. It's week 1, right? Mike Evans missed a lot of the training camp period. I'm not sure exactly how long, but it looked like they were out of sync. I expected a little bit of rustiness from this team because they are just getting together. They're so used to Jameis Winston. they're not real sure if the ball's going to hit him in the chest, right?
Well,
So
he looked like Jameis
shocking.
Winston out there, didn't he? 2 interceptions. He's on pace. 16 games, 30 interceptions. Congratulations. You're on pace with the quarterback that you replaced.
But I think it's definitely an eye-opener for Tom Brady. Look, this ain't the AFC East anymore. These teams are good. They've been good for years and years. They have just enough continuity or more continuity than your team, right? It's flipped. The script is now flipped on Tom Brady.
It is one game. It is.
And it is one game. Now, I think, the way he runs his offense, I think it causes for a lot of chemistry. And, due to the offseason and, I don't know what kind of work that they did in their off time or whatever, but that stuff matters. And, you got 2 wide receivers that need the ball a lot, right? You got 2 really good wide receivers. You got some tight ends that are hungry for the ball. So I think it's going to take some time to get that maturity and that continuity that they want in that offense, but don't write them out. It's only one game, y'all. It's only one game. I do think the Bucs will be back. They will be back. They will not lose every game, Anthony. And Blaine freaking Gabbert will not be
going to lose every game. That, like I said before in our season preview, that team is too good. That team is too good to lose a lot of games. That team is still, they went 8-8 last year. I think they could do the same thing this year.
Here we go.
But it's not going to be because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is not going to be the reason that team wins, but he was the reason they lost this Sunday. So how about that?
We got a super chat from Odd with the drunken Batman face. He says, Brady will take a fall, says he's concussed and needs to retire. Old man Brady is concussed. I didn't know that he was concussed. I do know that didn't he do a commercial for like mattresses and shit, right? I think that's one of his, and Uggs, and I think he's good. I think he can get it done. But thank you for watching the show.
He thinks he'll retire. He's saying that he'll take a hit and be like, oh yeah, I have a concussion, so I'm going to quit now, because he knows he's now regretting his decision to go to Tampa Bay.
He's still going to get that $35 million. Wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Nah, it wouldn't be. All right, here we go. Next topic. Baker and Browns got cooked.
Oh, you're going to make me start dancing, aren't you? Oh, Sterling is hitting all my favorite topics right now. We started with Trent Murphy. Then we go to Tom Brady sucking. The Bills are 1-0. And now it's on to my least favorite player in the NFL, not named Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield. So the most overrated guy. Let's get into it. Tell me, how did Baker do on Sunday, Sterling? Tell me.
Well, they lost big time, and I think they lost to the tune of 37-6, I believe, is what the final score was. They got hammered, and the Ravens, we know that they're the Super Bowl darlings for a lot of people. But I wanted you guys, and I'm gonna let Eric go first on this one because I know, Anthony, you want to serve up some Baker Mayfield hate. But on top of that loss, I do want to add in there, and we don't know if this is true, but there are rumors. Anytime the Browns lose, there's rumors that Odell Beckham is being shopped and so forth. So Eric, give me your thought. Is this what we're going to see from the Browns moving forward this season, or is this just they're rusty?
I think with the Browns, you have it's the first-year head coach and another first-year head coach, right? And another, coach that's having problems with the locker room, right? There's a lot of divas in this locker room. You need a strong leader to control them, right? The ownership hasn't figured that out yet. They still think they can win with analytics, but it's personalities. It's a team sport, right? Baker Mayfield, he's been saying all offseason, I'm going to be a new Baker. I'm going to be a new Baker. It looked a lot like the same old Baker to me. If I'm the GM of the Browns, I am moving Odell Beckham because you can't keep both.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that because
you got to clean out divas.
The Pullout King. Thank you for watching the Pullout King. Does your wife let you do that? But that's for another thing. It says Odell to the Pats. Thank you for your support. Bing, biggity, bing.
Let's go, baby.
Again,
Odell to the Pats.
Get discussed. Super chats get discussed.
That'd be an interesting proposition. They do need wide receiver help. We know that. And Odell and Cam connection would be interesting to see. And it would probably do a hell of a lot better than Baker and Odell have done together. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to see him go to the Pats. None of us do, obviously. But can they afford his salary cap going forward? And with the situation even they're in now, I know a bunch of guys opted out and that opened some space for him. but I don't know if that'd be a great idea for them long term. It might work out for them this year.
I think him going to the Pats is a terrible idea, mostly for Odell and the organization, because this Patriots team is no longer a pass team. They ran the ball 42 times, is the most in the league in week 1. So Odell going there is going to create more drama because he's not going to get the football.
It's all game planning too. I mean, they ran against a bad run defense. So, I mean, the Bills are going to do the same thing on Sunday against that team. But yeah, I mean, I'm again getting back to what the original topic was with the Browns. Yes, they have a new head coach, but again, this is Baker Mayfield with all the weapons you could ask for at running back, at wide receiver. You know, he's got a better offensive line. They improved. So what's the problem? You know, what is the problem? The Browns are cursed, obviously, but to me, it starts and ends with Baker Mayfield. He is the problem. You could probably put Blaine Gabbert on that team too, and he'd be doing better. But
the Ravens could be just that good. I mean, they do have a good defense. Lamar Jackson's a weapon and so forth. It's not like they're playing scrubs, but
exactly. The Ravens are a damn good defense and deserve to be respected. Yeah. So I mean, but the Browns couldn't even get anything going. They got 6 points. You're telling me you can't score 1 touchdown against that team? I mean, again, I know it's a good defense, but if you can't score 1 touchdown against a good defense, you're not going to get anywhere in this league, right? They're going to be 8-8 if at best, you know? So yeah, I just don't think they're going to do well this year. I think the Browns are going to struggle in that division. We are going to see. So speaking of the defense of the Ravens, which they had to play coming out of the gate and, you know, shut them down. Now they get to play in the Thursday night game against the Bengals. And, you know, if they don't get it done in that game, then we'll really be laughing at them.
Okay. So, yeah, and they're definitely, I mean, they'd be the laughing stock of the league. But New England, to its point, New England is a place where, you know, people get sent off to resurrect their careers. And look, the Baker, Odell, maybe it's just not working, but it's week 1. I mean, let's see what happens. Maybe they can get some chemistry going. I do like Odell Beckham. I do think he's a great receiver. I just don't think that, you know, I think he gets misrepresented a lot in a negative light more than he does in a positive light. So we will see. Eric, do you have anything else on? Because I know he's going to get. Do you have anything else on Baker?
You know, the thing with the Browns, you got to act now. You got to figure this out right now because that window is closing. How many top 5 picks are on this team, right? You only have about a year or 2 left of these guys being on their rookie deals, and I feel like the whole thing's going to collapse again. And then you're going to have more top 5 picks coming in. So to me, it's like, okay, I'll give them a little bit of leniency in the first few weeks. You do play Baltimore twice. It is a new head coach. But, like, by week 5, you got to have this thing figured out, in my opinion.
That's true. And Carmen Pagano, who would you want to go to the Jets? Nobody. How about that?
Who would?
I don't think that.
They're great just the way they are.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Baker got cooked. They sucked it up. They got blown out by the Ravens. It's not looking good. Okay, here we go. Next topic. Cam Newton's day versus the Dolphins. Now, let me remind you guys, okay, Cam Newton was 15 of 22. I think he had 155 yards rush passing. And I think he had 15 carries for 75 or 72 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. What do you make of Cam Newton's performance? Now, I will say this. He wasn't asked to do a lot. And what they asked him to do, he executed well. What are your thoughts?
I'm excited. You know why? Because the Bills are playing that Dolphins team this weekend. And it's funny because obviously the games were on at the same time. I did not watch any of the New England game. I just was watching the score and the highlights they showed. So I did see Cam's 2 rushing touchdowns. And let me tell you, it really was. I know he's always the guy that you compare Josh Allen to. But on those 2 rushing touchdowns, he really looked a lot like Josh Allen. And I am pumped to see Josh Allen versus that Dolphins defense this week. Because if Cam Newton and the Patriots could put up what they did, I have a feeling Josh Allen's going to go off on them because he already owns that team. His best games are against Miami, hands down, statistically, everything. And now he's getting going there. And after Cam Newton showed him how it's done, and man, those plays looked exactly, you could just insert a different color and number on Cam Newton, and it looked like Josh Allen running into the end zone. So I'm excited to see what Josh Allen can do. Obviously, I didn't want New England to win the game, but They did win, and that's fine, but they have a tough matchup this week in Seattle too.
For sure.
So hopefully we can get the edge by beating Miami and they lose to Seattle.
Okay. All right, Eric, hit me with that good.
I mean, I think there's no surprises here, right? I think we called this on our show a bunch of times. The Patriots are just going to run the ball 50 times a game and play good defense. And that's exactly what you saw. 3 interceptions on Ryan Fitzpatrick. But, I mean, Cam is no different, right? He's the same guy. It's the same plays. It's the same passing yards, the same stats. I saw him carry 3 players for like 3 yards on a rush. It's like with his history, and mind you, Josh Allen does not have the same injury history as Cam Newton, so don't compare him there. Cam Newton is going to get hurt in my opinion. If they're going to run him that much and use him that much, I don't think he makes it through the season.
Yeah, it's definitely not a sustainable plan. I mean, you should not be running Cam Newton that much early on, but that's part of what makes Cam Newton. He's dynamic that way. But again, there are ways to protect yourself. Just ask Russell Wilson, ask Lamar Jackson. You can run the ball effectively as a quarterback and not take hits. I just never seen Cam effectively do that consistently throughout a season, but it's something to monitor. Lord, for God forbids that man gets hurt. The Patriots are in big time trouble, but he played a good game. And people are like, well, they look at the stats. They don't watch the game. I watched the game. Cam Newton did everything that he was asked to do. He played the position. He played very well on Sunday. He didn't blow up the stat sheet, but that's not what they asked him to do.
Right.
They threw a lot to the tight ends, over the middle, play action pass. Cam got out on the edge a few times, and they did. That was enough to beat the Dolphins that day.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the other, my response was I'm excited. And I think that's the other thing I was excited about is, although New England came away with the win, this still looks like they're not going to be able to do that against the Buffalo Bills defense, right? They're not going to be able to run all day against our defense. At least we don't think they should be able to. We're a top 10 defense for sure. So I think, I'm excited to play the Patriots now and in a way that I think we are going to beat them. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's exciting.
But so before we continue on, please smash that like. Yes, smash that like. Hoof that like. We need likes. I need some more likes, man. How many? We only got 12 likes in here right now? That's unacceptable, bro. I'm gonna need some more up in there. So can y'all smash the like? If you're watching the show, don't just watch the show. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, put a thumbs down. All right. But if you like it, go ahead and like the show. By all means, remember to subscribe to the Buffalo Fanatics, man. We're here every single day. This is what we do. You're getting prime time premium content every single day. And I know it just sounds like a broken record, but I'm telling you, our guys, we really do put the work in. We grind really hard. Thank you, Maestro Shine. Appreciate it. Yes. Like those likes are going up now. Keep them coming. Smash that like. But we really do put a lot of work into this, man. And again, we do this because we love interacting with you guys. We are fans just like you. And none of this Buffalo Fanatics, none of this is possible without the support of you guys. So please do that. If you want to get your comment brought up on the screen and talked about by us, by all means, like, subscribe, support us in the super chat. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. And you can find us where else? YouTube. YouTube screwed us tonight. Thank you, YouTube. Moving on. Moving on. All right. Here's the good stuff. Ooh.
I just want to point out Todd's great vision. So.
Of course. Get that mess off of here. Inside slant, y'all. This is where we're getting it in. This is where the Bills part of the show comes in. We talk all things Bills in the inside slant. If you have things that you'd like to say from the comments or takes from the game, you could do that here. We do have a few things to kick us off with tonight on that. So before we even continue, let's kind of look at the Bills versus the Dolphins this week. Here's some takeaways that I found. The Fins are susceptible to the run on the edge, right?
Big time.
Cam Newton, they carved him up. Although they do have the running backs to get to the edge effectively, but Cam Newton found himself getting on the outside of that defense. And they got Shaq Lawson over there, right? They have a good defensive line, but yeah, running on the outside. I think you're going to see a lot of Isaiah McKenzie in this game. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Anytime you brought pressure up the middle, he got scared and he started throwing picks. So those are just two things that I will mention right now. And there was a gang of other things that we can get into, but what do you guys think how are we going to look this weekend against the Dolphins?
Yeah, I kind of already said starting out that I think Josh Allen is going to run a lot in this game. And we could talk about the run of Josh Allen because we all the talk on Twitter today is that, should Josh Allen be running that much? Did he touch the ball? Did he run the ball a little too much versus the Jets when you have a big lead? I have no problem with Josh Allen running the ball and getting it done. What I think he needs to do is learn to slide on second down when you get 6 yards. You don't need to fight for 4 more yards when there's guys coming at you. Just slide, go down. You did your thing, right? It's not a goal line situation every play. We love that kind of energy from Josh. That's part of why we love him so much. But he's got to learn to slide a little bit. But in this game versus Miami, there's no question Josh Allen is going to be running the ball, and he's going to be running the ball a lot because they just showed us that they let Cam Newton run all over them. And Josh Allen, even if you fake to one side with the running back, we're also going to be giving it to Devin Singletary a lot in this game. It's going to be run, run, run. I mean, New England, I think, what did they have? Less than 20 passing plays and like 40-something rushing plays.
Yeah.
So it's lopsided for a reason, just like the Jets. It's almost polar opposites in a way.
Hey, hold on. People are in here on Eric. Hey, they are giving you love, son. Eric is manscaped too.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, my guy Tim knows that Eric is manscaped. That's why he's turning red right now. He's blushing, y'all.
From head to toe, Tim. From head to toe.
Yeah, the Hoof Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Eric's wife loves it.
Yeah, she'll tell you.
So Eric Brown looks like a Greg Tom set.
Oh, he does kind of look like Greg Tom.
I'll take that.
Got the Greg Tom set flow going.
Sounds like a stereotype, but I'll take it.
Hey, man, that's what people do these days. It's all about stereotypes, son. All right, that's hilarious. Yo, keep the comments coming.
So I think basically this Miami game could be the opposite of what we saw with the Jets, right? The Jets had a very weak cornerback situation, and we tore that up all day. Josh Allen passed for over 300 yards. We're going to get into all that, but there's a reason for that because we just attacked their weakness. Now against Miami, they have good cornerbacks in Miami, 3 of them you could argue, but their defensive line looked very, very weak in that week 1, and our running game is going to be turned up. I mean, I'm talking touches for Zach Moss, for Singletary, for Josh Allen. They're all going to run all over this Miami team and limit Josh Allen's passing. So I don't expect 300 yards out of Josh Allen this week.
Yeah, I think it's a bounce back league, right? We know this. They're going to focus on outside runs as far as Miami's defense. I don't think you can run those same exact plays. But I do think the Bills' offense matches up really well against this Dolphins defense. They're a young team. They are talented throughout, in my opinion, especially at linebacker. But, I mean, Josh Allen, is he not the best quarterback to match up against this Miami team after watching the Panthers or the Patriots do what they do? I mean, I think Josh Allen has a huge day once again. I think you see a lot of screen plays with Singletary. I think you're going to see a lot more Zach Moss. But let's flipping sides of the ball. This offensive line for the Dolphins is really, really bad. They're really young, a lot of 1 or 2 year players. I think they have maybe one starting person who's not a first or second year player. So I expect the defense to have a huge day. And I'd like to get some of those Ryan Fitzpatrick interceptions, to be honest with you.
Let's get it, right?
Yeah.
Put him under pressure. If he's under as much pressure as Sam Darnold was in week 1, then he's going to be throwing interception because Sam Darnold was all over the place.
And let me kind of throw this out there. The Bills and the Patriots operate their offenses in the same fashion, which means they're matchup based. So they figured on offense that they could take advantage of the Dolphins defense by running the ball, using play action. I mean, if you looked at, they used a lot of option, read option, and when the mesh point came with the running backs from Cam Newton to the running back, they weren't disciplined on defense. They kind of got lost in where the ball was. So Josh Allen does that just about as good or better as anybody in the game, right? He's top 3 in that.
Somebody in the comments mentioned, do you think that the Dolphins will make an adjustment knowing that they just gave this up to Cam Newton? But no, honestly, I don't think they're going to make a very big adjustment because what did they game plan for when they played the Patriots and Cam Newton? you had to expect that he was going to do exactly what he did in that game. And you had to be ready when you're in the red zone to know that Cam Newton is going to run the ball. So it's not like you didn't know what was coming. You just couldn't stop it.
Right. And let's not forget that Bill Belichick raised Brian Flores in the league. They know each other inside and out, and Bill knew exactly what his tendencies were. I don't think that's going to be the case this week. But I think there is added value. John Brown, Jaquan Johnson, Isaiah McKenzie, Zach Moss, and Devin Singletary are all from Miami. I expect Singletary and Moss to have huge days. Also, Jerry Hughes has had 6 sacks in his career in Miami, the most out of any other team that he's played against. And Tre'Davious White has had 6 games with 3 interceptions, the most against any other opponent.
I mean,
the Bills just love beating up on Miami. So let's get excited.
And we haven't even mentioned that Josh Allen just completely balls out against Miami. But I wanted to bring something up. Pierre brings up hashtag team run Josh Allen. So Pierre coined this thing, I think today, so when you want to talk about Josh Allen running the ball, do this for Pierre and for Fanatics, hashtag team run Josh Allen. Now, you will see some people disagree with you on that. They're going to say they don't want to see Josh Allen run. You have to keep in mind that this is part of Josh Allen's game. That's what makes him dynamic is he runs the ball. But does he have to take hits? No, he doesn't have to take hits. There's a way to do it, right? There's a way to do it smart. And then, if you want to be careless, kind of like he was on those 2 fumbles, he was careless with the ball. And that is, that's a consequence of being careless. You're going to fumble. So that's something he's got to fix, right? He's got to fix
especially in the run. I already said I want him to slide and learn to slide, right? Because you don't need to get 12 yards on a run on second down when it's, you get 6. That's enough. You don't need to go for more. And both of his fumbles, the first one, he was trying to jump over a guy and bad ball handling, right? And it gets knocked out. And the second one was just he tried to bulldoze through for more yardage after he had gotten 6 instead of just going down. I mean, he tries to do too much, and that's just who he is. And I get that. But the other thing we love about Josh Allen is he sees what he does wrong and he can learn and change it, right? So I am all over team run Josh Allen, especially this week. Again, the Bills offense is a game plan type offense, and clearly that's going to be the game plan going in against New England.
Yeah. I mean, I'm team run Josh Allen as well. He's one of the best in the league at running, obviously. But it's got to be the right situation.
Yes. Let Josh Allen run to the sideline too. Go out of bounds.
If you're up 3 touchdowns, we don't need to be running Josh Allen.
No.
Right.
For any reason. Exactly. That's what was kind of frustrating. When you're up by that much, if you're going to run the ball, just give it to the running back and let him do it, right?
Yeah, he's definitely got to protect the ball better.
It's a balance.
It's a balance. But Josh Allen needs to run the ball. I mean, when he ran the ball, he was very effective. He was very effective running the ball on Sunday. And keep in mind, the Jets have a really good run defense, and that's why they stopped. Let's see, Singletary and Moss had 9 carries, but they didn't do much on the ground at all. So I think you're going to see a lot of the same this week. I think Moss and Singletary will fare better in the run game. I think Miami's defense, I think Brian Flores has them a little bit better to stop the run. They do have a really good secondary, so we got to give them that. So you're going to see a lot of running. You're going to see a lot of Josh Allen making plays with his feet. That's just the nature of the beast. You're going to live with that.
Maybe some screen plays, right? We did see a couple screen plays in this game versus the Jets, one to Knox and one to Singletary that were big in the first half. So those could come in big against Miami too. If they're bringing the rush or our receivers are covered by their good cornerbacks, just dunk it off and let them make a play.
And we haven't even mentioned that Devontae Parker will be out.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. That's
this O-line, and they don't have any weapons at receiver. We know who Chan Gailey is. I think the defense has the night off.
Wow. Yeah, no, I think a lot. You're gonna see a lot of spread offense, horizontal. They're going to double running back. Yeah, it's a power run game, right? And you're going to see a lot of quick throws. But the Bills are going to bring pressure. And now if you guys remember when the Bills played the Dolphins, they use a lot of A-gap blitzing, right? So hopefully we have Milano and Edmonds back in the lineup. That's going to help a lot in terms of the A-gap blitzing. But, just wait till I think Ed Oliver and all those guys on the defensive tackles on defensive line, they're going to get off, man. Justin Zimmer, too. I put a tweet up about that dude today.
Yes.
I watched the Bills game. Justin Zimmer Well, he was stellar in my opinion. The limited snaps he got, he played a damn good game, man. Damn good game. So here we go. Next, the rookie report. So we're gonna give, this is one of those things where I want to touch on some of the I want you guys to kind of hit on what the rookies did this week. We know Tyler Bass. He kind of sucked. All right.
Whoa. Let me defend Bass because he was 3 for 3 with extra points right away, right? There was nobody even knew who Tyler Bass was yet. He 3 for 3 with extra points. It was 21-0. Then he goes out to kick his first field goal, and it goes over the goalpost upon review, and it looked like it was good, but apparently there's a rule that I didn't know about that if it goes higher than the goalpost, it's not reviewable. So Sean McDermott wasn't even able to challenge that. But even the announcers that were for the game were like, look, that looked like a good field goal. And the second one he missed, it was laces in, right? That's a mistake by the holder, who I think is Bajorquez, right? So you can't blame him on that one either.
Well,
the kicker's job is to make kicks, period.
Hey, he didn't get it done. He didn't get it done. And it's okay to say he sucked Sunday. It's okay.
I think when you cut a guy like Hashka, who I know lost a little bit off his leg, but he was really good for us overall, right? Buffalo's a tough place to kick. You bring in a rookie, there's going to be bumps in the road, right? Yeah. And I don't like bumps in the road in a year with expectations. I didn't like the fact that they kept Bass. I thought maybe put him on the practice squad, but this is now we're in it, and now we got to go through this. Fine. I get that these kicks were almost in. We don't need almost in. We need them in.
Let me roll my eyes
especially
for a
when they're
second
chip
and say,
shots.
when you miss 2 field goals, one that you probably made and one where the holder made a mistake, in a game that doesn't matter in terms of how far ahead of it points-wise you are, but you can nail a 58-yarder when the game does matter. Yeah, those don't even out. Those 2 misses aren't even close to that one make. And if you still had Steven Hauschka, even if he made both those, he wouldn't even get a chance to make the other one. So it's going to even out. And Sean McDermott already said we have full confidence in Tyler Bass. I think because he recognizes that the one was made and the other one wasn't his fault, and that he made the extra points and he did make the other field goal. So yeah, he's not worried about Bass, and I'm definitely not worried about Bass.
We got to see more, obviously, but it might be a bumpy road. That's all I'm saying. 5 primetime games, crazy year this year. I don't like rookie kickers. Sorry. I don't like them.
I know. Well, he sucked, and it's okay. Check this out. Promethean Ubermensch, top left. Damn, Rico, you're looking rough. God dang. See, it's this kind of stuff right here. Okay, Promethean. All black people don't look alike, son. Okay, we're all different, and black is beautiful. I'm beautiful. Rico's beautiful. Deal with it. Okay, deal with it, my guy. All right. Yes, Bajorquez screwed the hold again. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
That's not on Bass.
Well, it is, because damn it, kick the damn ball up the uprights, and it shouldn't be a question. Okay, I want you to kick that field goal to not be a question, to not be above the freaking uprights, man. Come on, just put that damn thing through the middle.
He kicks it too hard for them because it went higher than it's
You're a kicker. You're a kicker.
Yeah. He made the kick. He made it. He did what he had to do. Just because the refs got the call wrong doesn't mean he did anything wrong. I don't care if it hits the fucking sky. It's still good. It's between the uprights. Make the right call.
Look, I'll blame the refs for a lot of things, right? They cost a lot of teams wins this week. But kicking, not going to happen. Not blaming the refs for that. It's got to be more clear. That's on Bass. It's a chip shot field goal. This is what, 35-yarder, 31-yarder?
You're saying.
That should be standard.
You can't kick it through the uprights. It's got to be directly through the uprights because the refs are fucking blind and can't see the pole and where the ball is.
It was too close to call.
Look, and you know what's funny as hell is that the announcers are like, well, I don't really think that was, I guess it was good. I was like, man, get the hell out of here, bro. Bass, kick the damn ball correctly. Kick it through the uprights. I don't want it to the right. Okay, we have, we're like shook about missed field goals. We lost Super Bowls because of missed field goals, man. Do the damn thing right. This was not a 50 and above yard field goal, 65-yard field goal. This is easy shit, bro. Kick it through the damn upright.
Fired up. Look at this. Rico's calling us out. Yeah, we're also talking about kickers and all.
We'll argue about everything, Rico. And
Phil's played too well for us.
That is Rico down there. Okay. Anyway. Okay, somebody brought up a really good one. They were talking about pass protection between Moss. Moss had good pass protection on Sunday. He did. He recognized
good blocks too. Yeah.
He fit into the offense pretty well. They even used Zach Moss more than I even imagined them using him in the first game. But yeah, he definitely knows how to pick up blocks. He did that really well. I did like that he had some burst once he got to the line of scrimmage. The few times that he did, you definitely could see some burst there. But and a touchdown catch. So
that was huge.
I love what I saw of Zach Moss.
I think that was my favorite Zach Moss play, just because it was kind of a busted play. And watching it live, Allen rolls out and he's looking for somebody, and then he just throws it into this pool of guys. And it shows the awareness of Zach Moss to say he knew this is a broken play. I gotta look back at Josh, and Josh got on the ball and it was a touchdown, right? So he did the right thing. He made the play and he scored in his first ever game, which was huge.
Yeah, and one thing
I gotta address that real quick.
Ahead.
So Travis Blakesley, he says Moss seemed a little slow. Okay, let's oh yeah, hold on. Let's get it up out of there. Okay, let me address this. Singletary and Moss they're not known for their
right
burst speed, they're slow backs, right? But have you ever played Madden and you come up out of the backfield and you're holding the turbo button, right? You're telling the defense what you're doing. There's nuance in the position. You don't just run as fast as you can once you get the ball. You set up your blocks and so forth. I thought in a limited space that Moss had on Sunday, I think he did that very well for a rookie. He showed a little bit of burst in his runs, and he's slow. He's not like a burner, but he does have some short area quickness that I really liked.
Obviously we didn't get the running backs the ball much, but Singletary looked like himself too, right? He got the ball a couple times and got hit. And my favorite thing that I always preach about Singletary is yards after contact. The guy gets hit and he gets 5 more yards. It's almost like it gives him a boost when he gets hit. And he did that a couple times on Sunday, and I was pretty happy to see that because, again, coming up to this Miami game, we're going to see a heavy dose of running backs, and I think Singletary is going to explode.
I want to address
one thing I noticed real quick
before I address that. Go ahead.
It's going to be a 50-50 split between Singletary and Moss. It's going to be per game plan. Both running backs had 9 carries. I think Singletary was on the field a little more because of the passing packages. But I think it's going to be a little more even than we anticipated. I thought maybe, coming out, Singletary would have more workload, but it looks like they want to get both backs involved. It's looking identical to last year.
Here we go. My man Ford, a little suspect, fellas. Okay, so you're saying Cody Ford didn't play good at right guard. I didn't.
Suspect.
I thought he played very well at right guard. Honestly,
I think suspect. I think suspect is the perfect word because Josh Allen makes the offensive line look better than it really is, right? Because he doesn't need to stay in the pocket. So pretty much every play he's rolling out, he's making something happen, he's dodging a guy. That right side of the line was weak on a few plays. There were guys getting through, but Josh Allen just was making a miss, and it became a moot point, right? Nobody's talking about it. But yeah, Ford and Williams are going to have to work on that chemistry. They did make a few good plays, where they kind of helped each other out and were able to hold that side. But, it's certainly not something concerning for me going forward, but it was something to take away from this game. Obviously was a point that we were all looking forward to coming into the game, not knowing who was going to be playing where. But I think that's going to get better as they build that chemistry. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Both players on the field 100% of the snaps, like it'll be quick to build that chemistry. So I agree with that.
Yeah, man. And Cody Ford that's not his. You may think, oh yeah, well, that's his natural position, but he was trained to play tackle. Okay. Now, he's very versatile where he could play multiple positions, but give him some time. I think he did play a good game. And Darrell Williams was a surprise at right tackle. I've been telling you guys, look, I know I thought Ford was at right tackle, but I did tell you, I said Darrell Williams could play right tackle, okay? And it depended on how he looked coming back from injury. And it looked like he moved well. I think Sean McDermott even pointed out how well he thought Williams played. He said he played a great game. I think he said all but two plays where, he let pressure get through. So Darrell Williams played a good game at right tackle. And again, Feliciano is out. We'll see what happens. I do think, though, once Feliciano comes back in, maybe they move Cody Ford back to right tackle. However, if Ford and Williams are playing lights out, they're going to keep the best 5 on the field. So let's keep it moving. Keep it moving, baby. Keep it moving. All right. So the reason now, if y'all think I was getting in my bag earlier, where my guy at? Where's my guy at? Look, Brian Bowers. He says Sterl's getting in his bag tonight. Hell yeah. and y'all about to see why I'm getting in my bag tonight, because the reason why we brought y'all here tonight is the Josh Allen narrative, man. The Josh Allen narrative. Okay.
Let's go.
I get so triggered when I hear people talk about Josh Allen and they're only taking the narrative. Now you guys think, okay, well, what is a narrative? A narrative is a story, right? In detail, the whole story. When you look at Josh Allen, you have to tell the whole story. And a lot of people don't do that. I want to challenge you fans, all of us, do your homework. It's okay to look at a little bit of research. Look at some film. Go back and look at what you can find from Reedley. Go back and watch what you can find from University of Wyoming. Because I'm telling you, this whole Josh Allen is trash narrative is bullshit. And I will be the first to say, of the two guys that you see on this show, I've been the most critical of Josh Allen. But I've always said,
facts.
I will compliment you when you do great. Right. Mm-hmm. And I will tear you a new one when I see that you kind of screwed up. Okay. And what I've been seeing and what I've been learning as I've been going through the scouting academy and so forth, and kind of learning the nuances of certain positions and so forth, and getting context, is that Josh Allen, when you look at his progression, okay, from junior college to Wyoming to the NFL, you see a player that is continually getting better. It's going to the right. It's going to the right. And just so happens this Sunday, my guy hit 300 yards. But before I keep getting into a few things, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna throw it to you guys. Josh Allen did have 33 completions on Sunday. That was his highest ever in a football game. Ever.
Let's go.
Ever. Not just the NFL, but that's college and that's junior college. And I would probably beg to say in high school as well. Okay. 33 completions. His highest at Reedley College was 28 completions. His highest at the University of Wyoming was 22 completions. That man had a 71 completion percentage. So now y'all not finna come in here. People not, I don't want to hear the Josh Allen hate. Miss me on that, man. Because you got quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield that ain't doing shit.
Garbage.
Heralded as a big thing. He's not progressing like Josh Allen. You
Sam
got people
Darnold.
like Sam Darnold. What the hell did he do on Sunday? And I don't want to hear, well, he doesn't have any weapons and la la la. Josh Allen didn't have shit the first year. What does Sam Darnold have? That ain't his fault that he plays for a terrible organization. He's got Jamison Crowder. I ain't trying to hear it. Josh Allen's a good quarterback, man, and it's time that everybody starts getting on the damn train. I'm telling you.
This narrative against Josh Allen has been ongoing forever, since the day he was drafted, even before that, apparently, because he never got a scholarship at his school. You know, he ended up at Wyoming. He came into the draft. People were passing on him. Look, the story with Josh Allen is simple. As a scientist, I've been preaching this all off season and last year and everything. Watch the damn games. Everything Josh Allen does. Look at the statistics. Everything he's done. Every year he's gotten better. If this is a linear path, ladies and gentlemen, every year he's improved. He's gotten better. He's gotten higher. His completion percentage, his touchdowns, his fumbles go down. Every stat you look at, there is literally no stat, zero, that show that Josh Allen is getting worse and not better. Every stat you look at shows that he is getting better as a quarterback, as a passer, as a leader. Everything you can look at shows that he is getting better. Even if it's only slight, his completion percentage, he's got a low completion percentage. Who cares? Look at the games he played. Last year, he didn't need to have 70% completion percentage to win games.
Let me toss this down to Eric, because Eric, you've been a Josh Allen stan for years, even before he came into the NFL. So I'm going to let you spit. Go ahead and spit, man. Go ahead and spit.
Look, there's a place for stats in football, right? And I'll respect that. You know, the stats guys go crazy, right? Josh Allen ain't there in the passing game, right? We saw a flash last week, and I'm hoping that continues. The one thing you cannot argue is Josh Allen is getting better every single quarter of the season, right? Every single 4 games, right? He has now 2 interceptions in the last 13 games. No interceptions this last week, right?
Hold on, repeat that. Go ahead and
2 interceptions in the last 13 games.
Oh, but he throws lots of interceptions. We're talking about the narrative, right? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Josh
the
Allen.
narrative.
Does he miss
turns the
throws?
ball over.
Sure. Every single quarterback in the league
Yes.
misses throws, right? The difference you're seeing with last week compared to Josh last year or even the year before is he finally found the check down when he needed to. That's the only difference, right? And I'm not going to beat a guy up for trying to make a play and throw the ball down the field, right? But you want that completion percentage? Is that what you need? Like, is it ever going to be good enough for some fans? You know,
That's
like
the thing.
at what point do we say he's good?
They
You know,
find
what does he
everything
need to
against
do?
him. Even this week, the guy throws for 300 yards, has 3 total touchdowns. And what plays do they show? Oh, he missed 2 guys in the end zone. So did frickin' the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, on Thursday Night Football. Whiffed it.
Listen.
And I even said, Josh Allen does that. Everybody jumps all over him and says he's the worst quarterback ever.
And here, look, Zach Allen, this is a great comment. Zach, thank you for watching the show and putting this comment in. He says the reason people dislike Allen is because they're in love with their pre-draft grades. They can't say they were wrong, so they cling to the negatives. And you know what? That's a funny fact that you bring up. And I'm going to read to you guys something that was on a scouting report that I found. This is a scouting report. This is a comment. He goes, yes, the guy, Josh Allen, who has played 2 seasons in the Mountain West Conference and couldn't produce anything better than a 56.3 completion rate for a season. That's the guy who's clearly the best quarterback in this draft? Yeah, right. This is what people say. This is the narrative we're talking. This is a story that they want to throw out there on Josh Allen, the negative propaganda. This is what they want to say. This is what they want to say. And they're not doing the homework.
But if you go back and watch Wyoming, the guy is making crazy throws for his team. I mean, he's not checking the ball down at all. He's throwing it, 15, 20 yards every single play, and it's working most of the time. So the more you watch the Josh Allen film in college, in my opinion, the more you're like, wow, this guy is a playmaker. Oof.
Okay, I got some more goods for you. Okay. Here's some more issues on scouting report. This is the things that they say Josh Allen has an issue with. And some of these I agree. He has accuracy issues, ball security, we know, decision making, too many interceptions. Okay, he's a one-trick pony on his throws, which means he only threw the fastball. Low level of competition, concerns about his production ability, and to be a clutch performer. Those were the overarching things in scouting reports, because I looked at many scouting reports. These are the things that they're saying about Josh Allen.
I mean, clutch performer, man, he made those guys eat their words, didn't he? The guy gets it done when he needs to in the fourth quarter. All the big games under the lights last year, he got it done. And I know everybody talks about his performances against New England. Again, you can't, these people who are haters of Josh Allen and have already convinced themselves of the narrative of Josh Allen, you know what they do? They do exactly what people who are wrong in an argument do. They move the needle. They say, oh, Josh Allen isn't good. He had 2 great games against Miami, but he never passed for 300 yards.
Right.
Oh, Josh Allen isn't good. Now he threw for 300 yards. Oh, he's a run-first quarterback because this week against Miami, he'll probably have more rushing yards than he will passing yards because that's going to be the defense. Oh, yeah, because he's run first. He's not really that good. It's like,
all right, hold on. Let's address that because and Charlie, my guy, thank you for coming and watching and saying that. His college tape was bad. But guess what? Just because someone's overarching college tape is bad doesn't make them a bad player. I think there's different ways to evaluate talent. It's one of the things I'm learning. Here's some of the things that they talk about. There's 5 critical factors. Okay, these are overarching critical factors that NFL teams look for in a player. And tell me how many of these Josh Allen checks off: mental processing, competitive toughness, athletic ability, his play speed, and play strength. He has all the things that you want in a quarterback. Is he raw?
Could you describe play speed, please? I don't understand that one.
Okay, so play speed it's like, you know how when you see somebody, you run a 40, right? And they're like, damn, they're super fast. But when they're on the field, they don't. It's like really fast wide receivers that get into the NFL with the 4.3, 4.2 speed. But when they're in a game, they can't run routes correctly because they're too fast, right? Their play speed. Josh Allen's play speed. He didn't run a super fast 40, but why is he running past linebackers and defenders and so forth? Because he's a competitor. His play speed, he has really good play speed.
Gotcha.
Short area, he has a little bit of short area quickness, a little bit of little play strength, a little stiff arm, to be able to evade a defender. So those are just things, man. Those are just a few things that you can look at Josh Allen. You can say, okay, he may not have it all, but he's getting better. And that's my whole point. The narrative that, well, Josh Allen sucks and he can't get better. That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. And if you are that kind of person, miss me now, because people can get better at something. So when you first arrived on your job, were you the best at your job, Anthony?
No,
Eric, were you the best at your job?
You don't walk in day one.
Actually, I was, yeah.
Oh, man.
Kidding.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, right?
There's a process and you get better. Hold on, there's a super chat. Cody Finney here. He goes, all I ever hear, excuses for Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and any quarterback for a bad throw. Allen even farts and it smells too brisk, and people bash him. Absolutely, because people want to believe that Josh Allen is trash. Okay, before Josh Allen took an NFL snap, you had NFL players saying, "Who? He can't look at what he did against Iowa. Why he's trash." Jalen Ramsey said he was trash, and what did Josh Allen do? Light his ass up when they came to Buffalo his rookie year. I'm just saying, man. Go ahead.
Charlie brought up a good point in the chat that I thought was important. You know, the grades that you give a player during draft analysis is telling of how you think they could progress in the NFL. But the problem with that is, then why don't these guys own up to it? They don't have to say he sucks and stick to that. That's what they're doing. Instead, they should be saying, well, I gave him a low grade because I thought it was going to take him 4 years or 5 years. But man, what he's done in 3 is pretty impressive for how low I had him ranked.
That's
that's all they got to say.
Right.
That's all you got to say.
Right.
I gave him a 30, but now he's 100. It's like,
absolutely.
Then own it.
and Charlie will probably even agree to this. People do get better, but scouts, a lot of times scouts, they kind of airmail a scouting report. They don't want to put their neck out on a player because they're trying to save a job or look for the next opportunity, or they just simply didn't do the work. Okay, you have to go into great detail. There's intangibles involved. Josh Allen's intangibles are through the roof. Okay, it's through the roof. The guy's smarts is through the roof. Right, I'm not saying Josh Allen. Go ahead.
How do you measure Josh Allen's motivation to improve, right?
Yeah.
His relationship with the guys in the locker room. I think that's like one of the most important things in a quarterback. And it doesn't really get scouted on the field. Yeah. You see that stuff behind the scenes, and that's what really makes the difference between, good quarterbacks and great quarterbacks. And I think Josh has those traits. He's been told no forever. The guys at Wyoming loved him, and he led that team to a bowl win for the first time since the early 80s. Like that matters to me.
So tell us, Eric, you were the one who had your eye on Allen before any of us did, and said in the draft, he was your guy. And I'm guessing you looked at the other quarterbacks that year. And that's what I'm wondering. What are these guys missing? What is it that McDermott and Bean did that other people didn't, to say, yes, we do believe that Josh Allen is going to be better than all of these grades and everything is saying? Because obviously the Jets and the Browns and the other teams ahead of us passed on drafting Josh Allen.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why I first fell in love with Josh Allen is I found out he grew up on a farm. I myself grew up on a dairy farm in upstate New York. Sterling knows what's coming right now.
Yeah.
But I've just like Josh Allen said early on in the draft process, I've seen my father work 16-hour days every single day, including Christmas. Mm-hmm. And to live up to those shoes is extremely challenging, right? So you're a very motivated person because you have something to live up to, and Josh has that. None of the other guys have that nor understand it, but I saw it. So to the farmers out there, we're with you.
Yeah.
Hey, just keep bringing me peaches, son. That's all I care about right now.
Exactly.
Bring the Palisade peaches, dude. I'm with it. But no, you're right. And intangibles are very hard to measure. But people get so infatuated with what they see in terms of stats, right? Ryan Leaf was built to be better than Peyton Manning, but he had all the physical traits, but he lacked one thing. And what did he lack? It was mental. He had a hard time with leadership and mental stability, right? And that kind of in the organization you're drafted to, it matters.
Well, I think resources too, right? Does Wyoming have the same resources as Buffalo? No, Buffalo's resources are all brand new now.
Yeah.
So giving him the resources, the coaching, Brian Daboll has been great with him. Ken Dorsey is the perfect guy for Josh Allen. He coached Cam Newton. It's just the stars align. You give the guy the resources so he can reach his potential.
I'm telling you what, though, I wish I could be a fly on the wall when these quarterbacks were interviewed by these teams, because I've already said it many times. I hate Baker Mayfield. The guy is a crybaby. He's a little whiny. He doesn't want to take ownership of anything. Are you telling me he sat down with the Browns, with all these other teams, and he impressed them in a meeting one-on-one with them? Because to me, he's the type of guy you have a conversation with, and I'm like, dude, I don't want anything to do with that guy, right? But Josh Allen, it's the complete opposite. You hear him speak, and you're like, this guy is humble. He's hungry. He wants it. Like, that's the kind of guy I want on my team. And a guy like Rosen got caught in the middle there. He never really got his chance. But again, just hearing him speak and everything, he's not the type of guy that's going to blow you away in an interview. But I don't know what Baker and Sam Darnold did in their interviews to impress more than Allen did, unless it was just evaluation of talent. And they were like, okay, Baker and Sam score higher, so we don't really care what they say in the interview versus what they can do on the field.
So Sean Munley says, let me call in. I'll explain it too. Sean, I don't know what you're trying to explain, my guy. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know if we have calling yet.
We could put him on speakerphone or something, but Anthony, give him your number.
I just want to talk about Josh Allen's fumbles for a minute, because that's the hottest topic right now, right? He does have a lot of fumbles. 14 last season. That's a lot, right? I just want to mention a couple things. Brett Favre's career high in fumbles was 2001 with 16. Oh. They won 12 games. He went to the Pro Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Tom Brady's first 3 seasons, double-digit fumbles. Tom Brady, 2 Super Bowls. I mean, it's in my opinion, Josh Allen's fumbles are a cost of doing business, because nobody else can run like Josh. Nobody else is willing to stiff-arm defenders. And look, that stuff's just going to happen. But does it make or break the quarterback? The answer is no.
But it's also something he can continue to improve on, right? If he would have slid those 2 plays that he fumbled on instead of trying to make something crazy happen, he would have not fumbled either time.
So, I mean, like it, obviously.
It's certainly, we know it's going to happen, because that's his mentality. I want to get more. I want to do the best. I want to get as far as I can.
And you know, another stat I want to see, and this is probably really hard to find, I don't even know if it is a stat, is Josh Allen fumbles when he's running the football, so let's say positive gain, versus Josh Allen's fumbles in the pocket. That's 2 different things, in my opinion. It's 2 different things to work on, carrying the ball versus holding the ball. And Josh Allen struggled with both early on, but I just think you're beating him up a little too much. Like, because no other player in the NFL is like Josh Allen. He'll run through you. Mm-hmm. Name another quarterback, maybe outside of Cam Newton, that does that.
And he's so elusive. What was impressive to me more so.
Barry makes a good point, though. Barry makes a good point. He says, laugh out loud, no matter what. I don't want to get comfortable with Allen fumbling.
I get it.
Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for him fumbling or making bonehead plays.
Well, look,
some of that stuff has to stop.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is he played amazing versus the Jets, right? You take away those 2 fumbles, it's his best game ever. But with those 2 fumbles, even with the game he had, that's not enough to beat Kansas City. That's not enough to beat the 49ers. The good teams we're going to play this year are going to capitalize a lot more than the Jets on those situations. Good point. Josh Allen knows that, and he owns that. And I hope that he learns from that, just like he has with his interceptions. 2 interceptions in his last 14 games. That's insane. That's got to be up with the league lead.
I don't want to get too caught up on interceptions, because Tyrod Taylor didn't throw interceptions. And
we've seen that.
He wasn't very successful. But one of the things I do want to look at, I want to look at the tape. I want to look at what Josh Allen did well, and what he did well in this past game against the Jets. And there is a history of this. If you look at the last 12 games of the season last year, there is a definite progression of what he did. And week 1 of the against the Jets, he read through his progressions. I said on the show last week, I said Josh Allen needs to read through his progressions. I want to see him go through 1, 2, 3, or whatever he needs to go through. I want to see him scan the field. He did that. Check. Decisive decision making. He was decisive with the football. At times he held onto the ball. That's who Josh Allen is. But there were times where he got, he took the snap. He got the ball out quickly. We need to see more of that. It's okay to take the check down or the safe play. That was one of the complaints coming out of last year that we all said that he needed to do. Well, in game 1, you saw him do that.
Check those boxes.
He used eye manipulation. He looked off. He froze linebackers. Okay, when you saw the Bills are running kind of a smash concept, right? He held the linebackers, man. I think I put this on Twitter. He held the line. He looked to this right at first, held the linebackers. They saw a zone bracket on Diggs, He looked up there, got John Brown a 10-yard gain. I mean, these are the things that you want to see out of a young quarterback. His footwork was way better. He was calm. He was calm when he was in the pocket. These are big time things that you want to see a quarterback. You want to see him put these tools in his bag. And I got to say, I came away from that Jets game and I was like, holy shit, Josh Allen is doing what he did after year 2, was improve, and he's going to continue to do that. So therefore, I'm going to come out and say, I'm not saying Josh Allen's going to be the MVP. I'm not saying Josh Allen's a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I'm telling you this, Josh Allen's not trash, and I think Josh Allen is a top 10 quarterback in this league.
Yeah, he did everything in this game that you could really want him to do in terms of what he needed to improve on, right? And I think you hit the nail on the head with the presence in the pocket and willingness to move around, and he just looked comfortable. He set his feet when he threw. He wasn't afraid to do what he does best, which is get out of the pocket, dodge a few guys, and take what is given to you, right? When there was an open lane, that was Josh Allen's longest run. He rolled out. He's like, nobody's here. All right, I'm taking off for like 15 yards. I'll do that all day, right? And same thing, when guys were in his face and the running back was open, oh, okay, here you go. Or Knox is open, okay, we'll do the screen pass just to let you take it. Go ahead. These guys are coming after me. And he got the job done. He started the game like 6 for 6 passing, which I was just like, and they were on the money throws. It was not like crazy bad passes or just in the region where the guy could catch it. They were on the money. And he really started fast. And again, his footwork, you hit the nail on the head, just watching him roll out, watching him be able to kind of dodge passes, look for it, but also not be afraid to throw the ball away. Past Josh Allen would sit there, and if a guy, he would wait, guy comes at him, he'd just throw it up and it'd be intercepted or whatever. He'd make bad decisions, much better decision-making
for sure
with the ball in his hands.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. He looked in control, and that's something we really haven't seen a lot of Josh Allen is being in control. But one last thing on him is the chemistry with receivers. Yeah, that was so good. I mean, John Brown. How about John Brown's first half? Coming out. Yeah. I thought Diggs would take some away from John Brown, but it clearly opened up John Brown. But that carryover from last year to this year has definitely helped out as far as their chemistry goes. Stefon Diggs is Stefon Diggs. That's a whole nother weapon. I don't think anybody on the team last year could have matched what Stefon Diggs did for this team in week 1. So that's just something I noticed. Looking good moving forward.
Stefon Diggs wasn't the only new wide receiver that was on a team, right? Or a new quarterback situation. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. Mike Evans didn't have the best game. They're still working on chemistry. But, I mean, for
duty.
What they asked Stefon Diggs to do, and for some reason, the chemistry between him and Josh Allen works. I'm going to say these last two things, and we're going to move on to the next subject. Josh Allen was 7 of 9 on third down conversions. That's huge. Okay. That's 77.8% if you're a math guy.
Now, 3 of those were to Diggs, too.
I've always said that Josh Allen never played a complete game. Well, this week, he was 20 of 26 in the first half for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. In the second half, he was 13 of 20 and 151 yards in a secured win. So all I'm saying is, to me, that was Josh Allen's first complete game as a quarterback. I look forward to seeing more of Josh Allen improving and getting better. Those of you out there, do not believe this narrative that Josh Allen is a terrible quarterback. Do your homework. Watch the games, because you will see that there's a little bit of nuances in the position that Josh Allen's putting in his belt. And I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year.
One of my favorite Twitter handles to follow is Bill's QB Watch, because that's all that handle does all day is call out the haters and show them why they're wrong on Josh Allen. And I love it.
Yeah, Eric's point was cost of doing business. You're going to see fumbles. You're going to see missed throws. You're going to see an interception from time to time. That's the cost of having a playmaker quarterback. Deal with it. It's not all that bad.
Mahomes does that too, though. I mean, it happens. You're not going to be perfect.
It's like, let's talk about the Super Bowl, the wasp play, right? 3rd and 15. You don't get the first down. You lose the Super Bowl. No stats, nothing matters at that point, right?
Right.
Playmaker quarterback. You just got to have it. You got to have the playmaker.
So, all right, here we go. What's the take? This is where the fans is fan driven. Okay. We don't have an agenda anymore. All right. It's all about what you guys want to talk about. So load it up in the comment section, because we got you. All right, here we go. It says the Brett Favre syndrome. Absolutely. How many Super Bowls did Brett Favre win? I think he won 2.
2.
I'll take that playmaker. I'll take that playmaker all day.
Well, he's in the dance every year. In the dance. That's where I want to be. In the dance.
Mahomes also has a MVP in the Super Bowl. Absolutely. I'm not saying Josh Allen's Mahomes, but they are playmakers, and playmakers, you're just going to have that kind of stuff, and you're going to have to learn to deal with it. What we out of here? Pierre's showing you some love, Eric killing them takes. He's killing them takes.
Comfortable.
Eric is killing them takes, man.
It's the haircut here.
Yes.
Aerodynamic.
Yeah.
I know.
But he's got a point with Josh Allen being the playmaker, right? I mean, that guy, that's what he does. I think of that play against Dallas when he fumbled the ball and he picks it up and he bulldozes the guys and he gets the first down. No other quarterback in the NFL can do that, period. No other quarterback, not even Cam Newton.
All right, Eric, take this one. Diggs made some incredibly tough catches look easy last Sunday. Thoughts?
I mean, but we saw some great throws from Josh Allen as well, but you didn't see a drop. That's the difference between Diggs and maybe a subpar receiver. Yes. Is Josh Allen can get it in the vicinity of Diggs. Diggs will make the play for you. He will take the hit. That's one thing I didn't like is he got hit hard a couple times.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Diggs did. Yes. Yeah. In order for that ball, though. But the thing is, I think Allen knows that he can rely on Diggs to make a play at the ball, even when he's covered or even when, these big plays need somebody. He can rely on him to just throw it up and see what he can do. And in this case, a couple of times Diggs did get himself open and Allen put it right on the money for him. So there's clearly a trust thing there. And obviously we know he already had the chemistry with John Brown, who had a great game as well with his touchdown too. So I mean those two guys are going to do some damage to teams.
Anthony, I'm going to let you take this one. Creasby says, will we pick up any free agents? What are your thoughts?
Right now, no. I mean, maybe adding a linebacker from the practice squad or something if the injuries to Milano or Edmonds are more than McDermott is leading on at this point in time. They're both just listed as day-to-day. And man, what an impact on the defense. We didn't talk much about the defense because they did what they had to do. But the fact that the first 4 drives of the game when Milano and Edmonds were in there, the Jets couldn't do crap, right? They literally had 18 total yards and 0 first downs.
Here we go.
Milano and Edmonds were in there.
We got a super chat. David Price coming in strong. He says, Diggs, grown man catches to move the sticks, man. Absolutely. You got to love it. He does make the difference, man. And I think when I was watching the film this week on the game, I'm pretty sure I noted at least 6 of his 8 catches were for first downs. So, hey, Stephon Diggs was helping move the chains. And you know what was really, really cool to see? Josh Allen was looking for him on third downs. That's his main target on third down. That chemistry is already formed. Not only to mention what you already have in John Brown. So, hey, them boys balled out, man. And I'm not going to take nothing from them, and neither should you guys, man. Give them credit to where credit is due. Them boys balled out.
Another stat I saw that reminds me of all the mobile quarterbacks in the league, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, all of them went 5-0 this week. Russell Wilson, Josh Allen.
Wow.
All right. Here's a good one. Was Knox limited on purpose or just a casualty of too many weapons? See, that's a great question, Todd. I just think Knox is not the primary target. Like, I think they used Dawson Knox last year out of necessity just because they didn't have a lot of weapons, right? Dawson Knox he'll get his shot. I think, and a lot of it could be part of the game plan too. I think you're going to see more of Dawson Knox. I think you don't expect Dawson Knox to have this great year. I expect him to be around the 30 to 40 reception range for 300-400 yards, maybe, and a few touchdowns. But Dawson Knox, don't worry, they'll find a way to get him involved. I mean, the screen pass that they used with Knox was brilliant. I love the fact that they took a page out of Andy Reid's notebook because that was just a thing of beauty to see. So I think they'll, you got Diggs, man. Diggs needs 10 targets a game. John Brown's going to get his 10 targets a game. So there's only so much the ball can go around. Now, if Dawson Knox is open, I'm sure Josh is going to hit him. But
I think in games with good secondaries, the New Englands of the world, you're going to see a lot of Dawson Knox and Cole Beasley. So I would just be patient. I don't think the Jets had the corners to cover the outside receivers. So why if it's working, don't mess with
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, I think this is another game plan situation here, right? We attacked the biggest weakness of the Jets, which was their 2 cornerbacks. So our 2 best receivers had the best day for a reason because they were the ones attacking that weakness, right? So in other games, I do expect that Knox and Beasley will be the guys even more than Diggs and Brown are in certain games when we're facing competition. And it's at this point, it's a luxury of riches, right? Like, I mean, Dawson Knox is a luxury at this point because we know we can still get him the ball.
That's a great point. That's a great way to describe that.
He's bringing the block, and so what if it's Diggs and Brown who had the big day this day? But that doesn't mean that Knox isn't still the guy, right?
I want to answer Michael's question. Michael Nab, he says, I love the increased screenplays. Will that continue? I think that's something that we'll continue to see moving forward. I think we saw the Bills struggle mightily in the screen game last year and the year before. We haven't had a good screen game since Chan Gailey was the orchestrator of this offense. So I think, the Bills have the personnel. They have guys who can move in space and get to the second level in terms of offensive linemen. So I think you will see, the Bills kind of use and implement that screen game a lot more.
Yeah, I think defenses are looking to stop the deep pass, right? We know it's coming. We know they've been practicing it. We got Stephon Diggs and John Brown, both deep threats. I think that screenplay could, be a primary go-to this moving forward because defenses will play deep over playing short.
Right. Let's see. We got another one in here. How about Andre Roberts?
Yes.
Fans were calling for him to get cut. So that's true. Fans were calling for him to get cut. When you looked at last year, yes, he is a great returner. I think this was his best game as a Buffalo Bill. You saw glimpses of him possibly taking one to the house. I love the punt that he got on the 8 and took it across the 30-yard line, evading 2 defenders. They were laying some licks on him all game in the return game, and dude just got right back up and kept playing, man. I think this is going to be a good year for Andre Roberts. Now, in terms of wanting him to play wide receiver on your offense, no, I'm good there. I'm good on that. But him being a return man like he's supposed to be and an all-pro return man and Pro Bowler return man, absolutely, I'll take that.
I can't remember exactly where the Bills averaged their starting field position, but I think it was somewhere like the Bills 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's a credit to Andre Roberts. That's what he does for a team.
And I think all of us that talked about the Bills, everybody at Buffalo Fanatics, at least, I don't know of one person who said that Andre Roberts would get cut because we recognize the value that he has on this team as a returner and that he's really the only guy and the best guy at that, still probably top 2 in the NFL at doing what he does. And man, he definitely put that on display versus the Jets and got me excited to see what he's going to do the rest of the season when he gets the ball, because that's such a difference maker when you're starting 10 yards better field position to start your drive.
Here's a question. Why do the Bills play prevent? It makes no sense why they don't play the same way that got them ahead. It does not have that much impact on the clock. In fact, stop them and milk it yourself. The Bills are very much a bend, don't break defense. A lot of that stuff is preventative. You got to consider COVID and players getting hurt. That's why you saw, I think they took Edmonds out. They hurried up and pulled Milano out, and you heard on Monday that there's a good chance that these guys are day to day. They might be able to play. Everything that we've always learned about Sean McDermott, they're very meticulous and very well thought out in what their approach is. So the prevent thing, man, you don't want to show all your good stuff out there. The Bills defense on paper looks very basic anyways, and they kind of mix coverages and disguises because they have really good personnel. So don't really feed into that. Just relish on the fact that they only allow one big play of the day, and that was because of a missed tackle. So
yeah, I'm
totally cool with that.
We went through 4 linebackers in that game, right? They all got hurt. Our starters, Edmonds, Milano, and then Delshon Phillips went down. Tyrell Dodson went down. It didn't look good, right? But that's why the Bills with that lead, at least they weren't playing prevent in the third quarter, right? So there's that.
Hold on. Did y'all just see that?
What?
He said, when are we going to admit that those Ed Oliver's a bust? Here we go. Jay Wood. When are we going to admit Oliver, Edmonds, and Epinesa are busts? Bro.
As soon as we admit Sam Darnold's a bust, because that guy's not a Bills fan.
Yeah, but I don't think so, because that's crazy talk. Oliver had a great day. Oliver was all over Sam Darnold everywhere there. Clearly he's a troll. Epinesa hasn't even seen a snap in the NFL yet. He's a bust.
He was about to get that work. I was about to give it to him hard on that one. I was about to give it to him hard on that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Because I was like, oh, bro, you coming after my guy Edmonds. Oliver? Epinesa ain't even put his drawers on yet, man. Like, he ain't got his man body yet. I don't even want to hear it, man. We got some stuff out. He says, lay off the running backs. Scarborough Joe. The Jets front seven is tough against the run. We may see 100-yard rushers this weekend. I think, everybody has to keep in mind that the Jets, the Bills are very matchup-based oriented when they do their offensive game plans. So I don't know about 100-yard rushers, but we've seen it before. I think it could happen. Like we said earlier, the Dolphins are susceptible on the outside. So we'll see what happens on that.
Yeah, I fully expect that Josh Allen's going to rush for almost 100 yards. I'd put him in the 80-ish range for rushing yards against Miami, and then probably less than 200 yards passing because Devin Singletary and Zach Moss are going to get their carries too. And I really think Singletary is going to go over 100. So you're going to get at least one and over 200 yards of rushing in that game.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect 30 points, but I think the mismatch is on the other side of the ball. Right, it's the Bills' defense versus Miami's offense. I think that's the strength that we have. I don't expect Miami to score double-digit points, to be honest.
Eric, you want to take that question? Todd Barker, I want to hear more about our all-pro Trey White. God, I love that dude.
The thing with Trey White is, like, he just comes through. It's kind of boring to talk about because we know he's good. He shows up week in, week out. He got his money. Trey White is the leader of the defense, at least the secondary. I mean, I don't know what else to say about the guy. He comes through time again. It reminds me of when Fitzpatrick threw that pick to Gilmore. Like, what are you doing throwing it to him? That's what Trey White is. Why are you challenging Trey White? Have we not learned? Just avoid him and you'll have much better luck.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. I mean, Trey White, what they throw to him twice all game?
Yeah, something like that. And he knocked them both down. So they didn't go anywhere near him.
Keep trying him. Just, especially with Chris Hogan. Like, come on now.
Yeah, and Fitzpatrick should already know. Like, you trying Trey White. Don't you remember when he got him on that interception on the sideline in the red zone last year? Hey, Fitzpatrick, he learning. What do you say? You gonna learn today? He learning. Fitzpatrick gonna learn. He gonna learn this weekend.
Unfortunately, Trey White's days are mostly boring because they don't throw the ball to him. But that's a good thing in the stat sheet, right? That means he was covering the guy so well that they don't even want to go near him.
My guy, Richard Rush, man, what's good, bro? He said, whatever the Pats did, we have to do better. Hell yeah. We got to do better.
This is our measuring stick game, right? We know the Jets are probably the worst in our division, if not the worst in the league, right? Now we're going into Miami. We saw what New England could do against them. And at the beginning of the show, I said what New England did got me excited because I think we can do better against Miami. And I think that means we're going to beat New England as well. It's a good sign. And if we can put a pounding on Miami better than New England did, that makes a statement for us. I'm sure the talking heads will make excuses for that one too. But, it's still a good sign for the Bills if we make that statement.
Nerds. Well, what the hell is that?
How about Shaq Lawson?
Yeah.
On the other side. He's going to bring it against his old team. Problem is he's probably not going to be on the field the whole time, right?
Well, I don't know. That's why he went there, right? He wants to be on I don't know how many snaps he got on the defense with Miami in that game, but that's part of the reason he wanted to go somewhere else was so that he could increase his snap count. And, but we know what he is. I'm not scared by any means of him. I think the Bills definitely know what he is and what he can do. And it's certainly not like he's the guy you're defending against.
Right. I know he can't catch Josh Allen, so we don't have to worry about that.
let me answer this question. Mark Feltsky, thank you for joining the show, my guy. He says, how do I submit a question? Well, you type it in the chat. If you want your stuff read and commented on, you got to do a super chat. You can find that, find that on YouTube. You could it's right there. Just hit super chat, and then you can type in whatever you want to say, and then we will give you some feedback on whatever you have to say. And make sure you hoof that like, man. We're almost to the end of the show tonight. Thank you guys for just bearing with us as we're dealing with some difficulties, man. Appreciate it. Here we go. Is Jordan Phillips hurt? I didn't see him at all on the Arizona stat line. Well, Bill Moran, I don't know, bro. I didn't watch I haven't watched the Arizona Cardinals yet, but I'll get to it. I'll let you know. Follow me on Twitter and I got you. I'll check that out tonight and see what's going on with Big Jordan. Let's see. Here we go. Della Torre, would you rather have the Bills stayed at number 10 in the 27 draft and take Patrick Mahomes, or trade it down to the Chiefs to take Tre'Davious White?
Okay, we've talked about this on our show before, and the only answer is no. You can't have a what if scenario. You don't know that Patrick Mahomes would have been Patrick Mahomes on a terrible team with no other positions that wasn't ready to start winning, right? Sean McDermott made that decision and said, we are trading this pick because I want to build the defense. We have a defensive coach. That's how he wants to win games. He decided to build that defense. And what did he get out of it? He got Trey White. He got Tremaine Edmonds. And guess what? Those two guys have paid off well for this defense and have pushed this team in the right direction. Because remember, this wasn't just a situation of let's bring in the best player and it changes everything. He knew, Sean McDermott, that he had to change the culture. He had to change the identity. He had to set up the defense he wanted. He had to set up the culture he wanted in that room. And just getting that one guy wouldn't have made a difference. I mean, I love
you're crazy.
Obviously,
Anthony,
talented.
Stop it.
No, there's no way I'm giving up Trey White and Tremaine Edmonds.
We heard you. We heard you on that. Let me tell you why it was a bad idea. Okay.
No.
Let me tell you guys why. We got a couple. Before I do that, let me hold that because I'm gonna touch on that. Here we go. He goes, Shaq only showed flashes in McDermott's system. Yeah, F the Jets. I agree with that. He only showed flashes in McDermott's system. He was a first round pick. We wanted him to play better, be better, but he was really good at stopping the run. He's really disciplined as a run defender. We just needed more in the passing game. So let's see what he does in Brian Flores' system. I didn't really pay attention to Shaq Lawson. He didn't stick out to me when I rewatched the game. So you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've not really looked and see how they use him. Is it 3-4? I think Brian Flores is multiple, correct? So who knows? Will they drop him back in coverage? I mean, hopefully that's good for us, because I think you can beat that. But
Super Guy, fans in the stadium at some point. Yeah, I think you will see fans in the stadium. I think maybe by week 5, maybe we'll start seeing fans in the stadium. I mean, it depends on Governor Cuomo, whatever he says. I mean, he's in charge of that. So, but yeah, Bills Mafia's got to be in that stadium, man. It's just not the same. And my guy with Joe Miller on his podcast, the Overreaction podcast, was talking about hey,
the sound,
like drunk dude.
The sound.
Yeah, I mean, can you do a better representation of our fans, man?
I mean, I kind of get the sentiment of putting, because this is they put different sound in the stadium, the 70 decibel crowd noise, but then the TV broadcast was playing sound, and I'm like, what? Why? We don't care about that sound. We don't care about that noise. I want to watch the game, the play. Yeah. Like, just play the sound that's in the stadium and let us hear it. And that's what they did on Monday night. And it was actually interesting because you could really hear the crack of the pads and like guys talking on the field and everything. And I actually enjoyed listening to that. Something different for sure. But yeah, I think we'll have fans in the stadium.
You know what's interesting though? There's fans in the stands this weekend in Miami.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of fans in the stadium.
Is that a disadvantage? Because people say, well, that's a disadvantage because Miami has fans, but Miami has no fans.
Not if they're Bills fans, right? Yeah. Not if they're Bills fans.
Hey. We'll see.
They might be. It'll be interesting to see how many Bills fans make it in because those Miami season ticket holders might be selling those tickets to some Bills fans at this point.
Back to the Mahomes Bills drafting him thing, okay? It's okay to like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Got nothing to do with Josh Allen. Yeah.
It's okay to like them both. Eric, Anthony, you guys would agree to this. I was a big fan of Sean McDermott, your first year. You need to either take Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. I was high on those guys. I said, dude, you need to. Yeah. I wish that he would take one of them. All three of those quarterbacks are good. Patrick Mahomes is the outlier. He's great. We don't know what Patrick Mahomes would be like in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. But I would say this. If you could take Patrick Mahomes, you look at Josh Allen, what he brings to the table in college, look at Patrick Mahomes, both of these guys are grinders, man. And just so happens that, a perfect marriage with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. You don't know if that would have happened here. Patrick Mahomes probably would have got here and blew up too. Or he could have flopped. We don't know. But we'll take what we got, man. We can't go back and rerun and do things. But hell yeah, I'll take Patrick Mahomes over Josh Allen right now. You kidding me?
That's not even Allen. That wasn't.
That's not even. I know, but I'm just saying. I would have drafted him 10th overall. I love Trey White too. I love Trey White. But it's okay to like
coach.
Exactly. Defensive coach, defensive team.
I wouldn't. And here's why I wouldn't
total rebuild.
Because you didn't have a GM. Everyone knew that Doug Whaley was getting fired. You got it because the GM sets the draft plan, correct?
Yes.
So you got a guy on his way out. You want to take a quarterback that he didn't draft.
You don't have a quarterback.
That's what dysfunctional.
Hold on, you say that. Hold on, Eric. You guys say that, but you don't know the conversations that McDermott had with the ownership. We don't know that stuff.
Yeah,
because if the GM was so important, they would have drafted one before the damn draft.
But what happened? They would have had one before the draft. You don't know that ownership didn't say we like Tyrod Taylor and we want you to give him an extra year. And Sean McDermott probably said, "Sounds good to me. I want to rebuild this defense." Right? Sounds like a match made in heaven. Perfect.
And guess what? This is what I do know. This is what I do know. The Bills quarterbacks have sucked ass since Jim Kelly. I'm going to draft a damn quarterback every year till I find a franchise quarterback. That's what I'm going to do. So I can give two shits about the defense. I'm going to fix the quarterback. And just so you guys know, we all know this, Mahomes won a damn championship and an MVP. That's all I'm saying.
With Andy Reid, yeah.
With a great team, yes. If he was
y'all like Andy Reid is the only guy that can get somebody to win a damn Super Bowl. But Patrick Mahomes is great.
What's the difference between Josh Rosen and Patrick Mahomes?
A lot.
That year.
A lot.
Well, yeah, a lot, including where they were drafted and the situation they were given. And yes, obviously, I'm not saying that Josh Rosen is talent-wise competitive with Patrick Mahomes. That'd be crazy. But the situation you're drafted into matters. And bringing Patrick Mahomes into a rebuild situation where nobody's any good might not have done him well. Instead, he went to a team where he got to learn from a quarterback who taught him well for a whole year on a winning team that made the playoffs. And then he got to be the guy, right?
Y'all going to timeout. Both of y'all going to timeout. You know what? I'm going to put you guys in a timeout tent at training camp next year. I'm going to call up EJ Manuel, and I'm going to have him throw passes at the damn tent because y'all are talking crazy right now.
And that's why you don't draft a quarterback every year because you might get an EJ Manuel.
Yes.
Or name one quarterback that's been bad under Andy Reid.
Exactly. It's
Alex Smith was good. Donovan
especially
McNabb
in that
was good.
situation.
Michael Vick, second round. Michael Vick was good.
What's the most important position in your franchise? That's the quarterback. I'm just saying the Bills have struggled at that area. I would have taken one, but
with a bad offensive line too. I mean, we don't know what Mahomes would have done if he was drafted by that.
If the Bills won 2 games, I'd be furious. But
Josh Rosen got signed up to be a tackling dummy 2 years in a row. Damn,
he got sacked so many times.
Yo, facts, man.
He doesn't even know what team he's on anymore.
Facts, bro.
Yeah. He deserves a shot. But...
Anthony, you got some folks on your side on this one, man. You know, that's good. It's good. It's good. That's good.
It's not about the undoubted talent of Patrick Mahomes. That's for sure. Nobody can doubt that at this point. But it's the situation you put him in and say that he's going to be successful. It's not like you could take him and he would dominate anywhere.
Y'all see this? My guy Eric Kinsey. EJ was good. What was EJ good at?
Getting to 8-8, man.
I mean, they didn't. I think that they didn't give him enough of a chance.
He didn't get a real shot.
He didn't get a real shot.
Marone wants his guy.
And the organization was a shit show back then.
I don't know where your bar is for good, but EJ Manuel is a few notches lower than good for me. So
look, what did the biggest hands in the draft with it say he can throw through wind?
He's presidential.
Oh my god,
very presidential.
Oh my god, dude!
That's why EJ Manuel stayed in the league so long after he left Buffalo. He was out of the league in like 2 years. You know, he just didn't have it.
Yeah, Stephen Fry. He says everybody was in Watson that year. Top half of the first round was considered reaching for Mahomes at the time.
Yeah,
you know, See, and that's one of the things that people going with the narrative. Again, if you actually, because the Bills were starving for a quarterback, I remember sitting on my couch texting Eric down there during the Alabama Clemson game saying, "Dope, Bills got to take one of these two guys." You remember that?
Yeah, Watson, in my opinion, was the more sure shot. Yeah,
was
and
for
this
sure
is
the
on
more sure
Chicago.
shot.
That's not even on Buffalo. We had GM issues. Chicago, though,
right?
Chicago. Laugh at them for a minute.
Yeah, please do.
Like, what are you
But
doing?
Mahomes,
Trubisky,
hey, and to Mahomes' credit, the stuff that you see him doing now, he did at Texas Tech. So I don't know why people aren't, because he's a playmaker and he was kind of wild, right? But there's nothing new about Patrick Mahomes now that we didn't know about at Texas Tech. But anyway,
I think the league changed though, right? Kansas City's innovative in the air raid, right? They created this new thing, right?
for sure.
I think back then it was still traditional quarterback. It wasn't air raid. You don't want air raid guys.
And we're going to close out the show. I do have one more, but this one's for you, Anthony. We got a super chat here. Philip Odell, thank you for coming in, doing your thing, man. He says Rodgers or Allen in a fantasy PPR this coming week.
I like it, but I got to tell you, I'm going with Allen still, because this is a weak matchup against Miami, and he's going to rack up the rushing yards, probably 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns, and he's still going to give you a few yards passing, under 200 maybe, and a passing touchdown. Rodgers had a huge game in week 1, but that's only because that game turned into a train wreck, right? I mean, what was the final score? Like 42-36 or something crazy like that. I don't expect the Packers to be in that situation again this week. So I would expect Rodgers' numbers to come down to average. And he's been hit or miss as a fantasy quarterback. But Allen is still a must start this week with the rushing yards he's going to rack up against Miami.
I disagree. I think you go Aaron Rodgers here. And I'm not a big fantasy guy, but
I was about to say, yeah, okay.
I'm not huge on it, but I mean, Detroit rookie.
We'll come back to this next week when Rodgers has like 12 fantasy points and Allen has like 40. So,
but I see Detroit as a good matchup that favors Aaron Rodgers. That secondary is young. I think Aaron Rodgers could tear up a rookie. I mean, he's been in the league so long. That's all.
Hey, whatever you said about air raid, Eric, people are giving you shit in the chat. It's hilarious. But anyway,
nobody wanted it.
Look, that's all for tonight, guys. Hey, the Josh Allen narrative is put to bed. You as fans or whatever you want to call yourself, Bills Mafia, you have the tools that you need when evaluating Josh Allen. You think whatever you want to think, but the notion that Josh Allen is trash no longer exists. Can we be done with this? Okay, we're not feeding into people's negative tweets. We're not doing that no more. But this is the Hoof Live show. Thank you guys for once again showing up, showing out. And this is what we do, guys, every single Tuesday night. We got live shows every single day of the week. We got podcasts every single day of the week. If you like trading cards, we got a guy that does that. If you want to know about what bills are banged up, we got guys that write articles about that. We got guys that do everything on this network, man, on this team, this squad that we have of ours, man. And there's tons of good content out there. Like and subscribe to Buffalo Fanatics, man. We are the only ones giving you this much content, this much work every single day, every freaking week. The pregame show last on Sunday, bro, was top notch, bro. We got to keep doing that because people are loving the pregame show. You're getting different analysis from fantasy to, all kinds of stuff, man. If you guys are looking for Buffalo Bills content, Buffalo Fanatics is the way. It's the way, man.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We're always having conversations there. You can hit us all up there. Tell us what you think. Ask us questions. I know I'm always checking it, giving my opinion, posting there. So hit us up on Twitter too.
Yeah, you can hit us up on Fridays on the Buffalo Fanatics Podcasting Network. We will be doing more details on the Dolphins coming up this weekend.
Yeah, if you missed the last pod, don't forget our guy Sterling. Give him a shout out again. He got to interview the man, Thurman Thomas. So if you missed that one, make sure you go back and check it out because that was pretty impressive.
One last thing, Scarborough Joe. Thanks, y'all. Stay up and get ready to squish the fish, bro. Hell yeah. We getting it in, baby. And we out of here. Peace.
Go Bills.
Peace.